Palestinian officials say Israeli airstrikes today killed more than 60 people, including at a cafe in northern Gaza and outside a food distribution site in southern Gaza. The violence comes as President Trump is making a push this week for a ceasefire. Here's Nick Schifrin with more and a caution: some images in this report may disturb viewers.
On this war's 633rd day, what used to be a wall of a school turned shelter is now a window into a shattered, mangled life. Israel says it struck a Hamas command and control center next to a UN facility where children's toys and families are broken.
Look at us. We are not just numbers. Every day, martyrs here, martyrs there. No, we are not like that. We are human beings. Our Lord created us to live like you, with dignity, not like this in humiliation.
Over the last few days, Israel increased its bombardment in northern Gaza and demanded residents flee to southern Gaza. And so in Gaza City, toddlers ride on rickety carts, donkeys compete with bicycles, and families are forced once again to find new homes. While in southern Gaza, Nasser Hospital is once again overwhelmed by the wounded. Palestinian officials say all these people were shot today while they waited for food. In a way, they were lucky. This boy, among 24 killed, their final act trying to feed their families.
We see a lot of penetrating trauma to the chest, to the abdomen, causing internal bleeding, life-threatening bleeding.
Dr. Mohammed Fadlallah is an American internal medicine specialist with Doctors Without Borders, currently a manager at the Gaza Field Hospital Al-Zawayda. The UN says hundreds of Palestinians have been killed outside sites run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, created by the Israeli military with U.S. financial assistance to provide Gazans food while avoiding Hamas theft.
I arrived basically a couple weeks after the GHF sites started operating, and it seems like throughout central Gaza, our hospital and all the hospitals we collaborate with have seen large influxes of patients during that time. People being made handicapped, people needing to be in wheelchairs, people needing to be on crutches, need walkers for the rest of their lives, people losing their vision, all in an instant, all because they were standing in the wrong place.
Last week, the left-leaning Israeli newspaper Haaretz reported that Israeli army officers ordered soldiers to fire at Palestinians near GHF sites, quote, deliberately. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz called the report malicious falsehoods and blood libels. But today, the Israeli military acknowledged a review into its actions and said it would close one GHF site and create another one nearby to, quote, reduce friction with the population and enable the safe and efficient passage of Gazan civilians. The Israeli government blames the chaos on Hamas.
Hamas starves its own people and shoots its own people and systematically endangers them from getting the aid from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation.
It's heartbreaking to see the images that have come out from both Israel and Gaza throughout this war, and the president wants to see it end.
In Washington today, the White House confirmed that Netanyahu will visit next week after President Trump posted on Sunday, "Make the deal in Gaza, get the hostages back." U.S. officials say the two sides are still divided over whether there will be a temporary pause or permanent end of the war, and the U.S. is still waiting for Israel to send a diplomatic delegation to Cairo. Until then, the war will inflict horror. Today, an airstrike obliterated a Gaza City beachfront cafe. It was well known to provide internet and power and distractions from the war. Palestinian officials say dozens were killed and wounded, including an elderly couple, journalist Bayan Abu Sultan, and journalist Ismail Abu Hattab, carried and buried by his colleagues. It was a reminder that this war spares no one, not the documenters, not the doctors.
They're not the doctors and they're not the patients. You know, they're all the same collection. They're all the same population. They're all living in the same circumstance. So for me, if they can do it, if they can push, then I can certainly push and deal and work hard to try to make things as good as we can for the people that we're seeing every day.
And it is every day the war is inescapable for its victims and survivors. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Nick Schifrin.